Hello, my name is Ellie Tennant. If you didn't guess by my shirt and the wall behind me, I'm a Crystal Palace fan. Welcome back to episode 10 of Either Eye View. It is a series I created to connect with fellow Fanalysis members ahead of our fixtures. This weekend is the El Get and we host the Seaweed Stem, aka Brighton. And this week I am joined with Brighton fan Joe. How are you doing today, Joe?
Hello, yeah, doing well. What a lovely introduction for Brighton Hove Albion. Thank you very much.
You're very, very well done. Um, that leads me perfectly into my first question. Not many people understand our rivalry. We're two teams separated by almost 50 miles, and yeah, not many people understand it. Do you want to explain to the viewers that might not have had an explanation before?
Yeah, I think I've got my facts right in saying that it's much a historic rivalry rather than a um proximity rivalry.
Yeah.
Obviously started with Terry Venables and Alan Mullery. Their sort of rivalry from their playing days into their managerial career. And I think as well came from the chants of Eagles, and we responded with Seagulls. Yeah, and obviously Alan Mullery emptying the change in front of Crystal Palace fans and saying that's all your club's worth and stuff like that. And it's just built from there really. And I think as well for Brighton, we're a club that don't really have many people around us anyway. Um, Obviously Crawley are in the Football League now. Worthing are coming up and doing well, so maybe we might have some proximity rivalries in the future. But other than that, I think we were just looking for someone to despise, and it just fell onto you lot.
Fair enough. I think all the historic stuff happened before I was even born. But I've just been raised to hate Brighton. So, yeah. But let's move into this season. How would you evaluate the start of the season as a Brighton fan?
A season of consistent inconsistencies, I think. We've had really good moments, obviously beating City at home, Newcastle, Chelsea we've beaten as well, and then the teams that you would expect us to do a little bit better against, we've sort of struggled. Drew against Wolves, drew against Everton, and gave up a 1-0 lead at home against Fulham as well. So um, that was disappointing to say the least. But then last weekend we had a really good result against Leeds. Again, I'm going into that game as a Brighton fan really negative because we never do well against the promoted three. But we seem to not really get out of second gear and get a really good result. So hopefully that gives us the confidence this weekend. But we know that it's going to be a very, very tough test. And yeah, under Hertzler, we haven't had the best of times against you. So yeah, feeling quite nervous for it.
This might be a bit of a difficult question for you to answer, but if you had to choose one Palace player you're fearful to play, who would you pick?
Obviously, Mateta's a fantastic goal scorer, amazing target man. As much as it pains me to give Crystal Palace credit, you're a fantastic counter-attacking side, and I think Glasner has got you playing some really, really good football, and you soak that pressure up, and you've got the players going forward to really hurt people on the counter. And that's where I worry about us mostly is the fact that against counter-attacking teams. We don't seem to do that well against.
Mm.
I'm praying I'm praying that we sort of can tactically sort of stop that. And obviously as well as Sarr has been
Mm,
fantastic for you guys ever since he's come in. So yeah, those are the two players I would pinpoint as being the
definitely.
ones.
I think we showed against Liverpool counter-attack threat in the Caribou Cup as Manchester breaking down the wing and then run two passes and then we broke the team apart. So yeah, I definitely back you on that point. And then on the flip side, who should we be fearful of?
Um, Jorginho Rutter's been really good this season, and he's a really strong player. He's sort of like a player that walks around the pitch sort of nonchalantly, and it looks like he's not going to do that well, but he's got such an incredible strength to him that he can just bounce off any opponent, and he's got a pass on him. He's got a shot on him as well. So really excited to see if he can sort of pick you guys apart. Danny Welbeck as well has been in a rich vein of goal scoring form, and obviously he scored at your place. I think he scored at your place twice now, so hopefully he can continue that. But yeah, going forwards, obviously we've got not Karen Matoma, he's injured. Yankuba Minter, really really fast player, really works hard, tracks back. And Diego Gomez as well has been fantastic for us this season so far. So there's a lot to be positive about going forwards. It's just our defence. We've only just kept our first clean sheet in the Premier League this season. So yeah, I worry about us in defence because it's been a horror show at times.
Um, I think this is going to be, I know the answer to this question, but what do you think of Palace and their fan base?
Um, Well, Brighton fan. I'm not the biggest fan of it. But like for me, like football ends at the 90 minutes. When the final whistle goes, we're just people, right? And we love football. We love our club. We're back our club the whole way. Obviously, it's painful for us to watch you win two major trophies in the last few months.
Yeah,
But I've got a lot of friends that are Crystal Palace fans, and it's for me that rivalry ends when the match finishes, and obviously in the Fanalysis group chat we've got a lot of Crystal Palace fans in there as well, and you're all great people. So um, I don't want to sit here and go, I bloody hate you all, but because that's not the case. I just don't like it when we play your football team.
yeah, fair enough. Joe was the one that created all my graphics for either of you, so I have a lot of respect for him as well. And like you say, after the 90 minutes, we're just people and can't hate people. Just support a football team. Um, so last time we played each other at Selhurst Park, it was a incredible 2-1 victory for us. It was very nervy, and then obviously you went down to 10 men, and yeah, it was very scary being at Selhurst Park that day, but it was a very fun game to watch. As you mentioned, Danny Welbeck scored. Um, both of our teams are very close together in the table. I think you're 10th and we're ninth, only 1 point separating us. So what is your prediction going into this match?
Yeah, as you say, it's been a close one this season, and it's weird because Brighton fans are up in arms saying we've had a terrible start to the season, and then I've heard Brighton fans going, "Well, Crystal Palace have had a great start, and you're only 1 point ahead of us."
Yeah.
So it baffles me as to that sort of viewpoint on our season compared to your season. I think it's probably because you've been scoring lots of goals and um, have won a major trophy, which we
Mm.
won't talk about. So, um, yeah, it's going to be a tough one. As I say, I really worry about us on the counter attack. I worry about last season as well. You were down to 9 men for a while, and we couldn't capitalize on that. And then Van Hecker was sort of forced to make that challenge, which got him sent off. Um, yeah, I really, really worry about this one. And I've always vowed on an opposition podcast to go with my heart in predictions. So I will have to say uh, 3-2 to Brighton, but I
Well,
think it's going to be a crazy game. I think it's going to be full of scuffles and red cards and goals. So hopefully it'll be a fun viewing for both of us. But yeah, I'm going to edge us to come out on top.
are you going to the match?
Unfortunately not. No, I've got a kiddo at home, so away days are difficult for me, but I'll be there on the reverse fixture in February, no doubt.
I have PTSD from coming to your stadium. The last time I went there, we got stuck in the stadium for like 45 minutes after kickoff as they locked us in, but as the home fans were like coming round to the away fans, and it was quite scary.
Yeah, we when we played you in, and I hate to bring this game up because you're gonna laugh at me. When we played you in the playoffs, me and my mum was sat in the southwest corner, which is like right next to the away fans.
Right.
And after the game, obviously we were all depressed because Zaha had just killed us. Um, and we were trying to get out to go and get our train because at the time I lived in Hastings, and trains back to Hastings from the Amex for an evening kickoff are ridiculous.
Yeah.
And as we were leaving, they shut the doors, and we were like, "Why are you shutting the doors? We need to get out. We need to
Yeah.
go." And then we realised because then Crystal Palace fans were banging on our door
Yeah.
trying to get in. So yeah, it's always a lot of police presence and all that good stuff. But as I say, like, come on, guys, it's just football. Let's leave the rivalry on the pitch,
Yeah.
and have a great time afterwards. Because as you said, we're just people.
Definitely. Where can my viewers find you?
If any of your viewers at all want to watch Brighton content, which I doubt will be many, you can find us on the Albion Obsessed podcast. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and yeah, it's all good stuff. So if you want to come over and banter us and send us abuse, that's where to do it.
Definitely do that. But be sure to give Joe a subscribe. I subscribe to him and other Palace fans. If I can, you can too. So give him a follow, and I will see you next week for another episode of Either Way.